Think for myself and I won't do what they say. Well, I think for myself and I won't do what they say.
Hello. This is Gerald Salenti, and it's Thursday, February 3rd, 2022. And here are some of today's trends in the news. I think for myself and I won't do what they say. How dare you think for yourself? You're not allowed to think for yourself. It's America, it's France, it's Italy, it's Germany, it's Austria, it's Canada. Anyway, on the market front, not a happy day. Yep, Dow Jones fell 518 points. The NASDAQ was down almost 4%. The S&P slid 2.4%. And that's because Facebook went down. You know what that is?
Bullshit.
You got it. It's going down a lot more because of that. Again, all the data is in the Trends Journal. Gregory Mannarino has his take of what's going on. We're looking at the whole picture here, and we're in for a rough ride ahead. Tomorrow is going to be a big day in America. They're going to come out with the jobs numbers. We'll see what happens with that. But the word on the street is they're going to raise interest rates 4 or 5 times this year, and the money junkies need cheap money. End of story. That's what blew the markets up, artificially hyping them. The retail investors are getting smashed in this thing. Retail investors are basically rookies. So here we go. The Thursday's decline came after major averages notched a 4-day win streak during the regular sessions Wednesday, led by Google parent Alphabet. Strong earnings from Microsoft, Apple, and Alphabet drove investors back into tech, reminding them that fundamentals are still strong. And you know what that is?
Bullshit.
That's right. You got a couple of companies that are running the whole show. There is no democracy in America. It's fascism, the merger of state and corporate powers. The Robinson-Patman Act, Sherman Antitrust Act, Clanton Antitrust Act, Glass-Steagall Act, they've all been diminished, all pulled apart, ripped apart. The bigs, it's only a few companies that are driving this up. The rest is going down. So it's just a few monopolies, and the rest are on death row. Then the rate hikes. And again, that's going to bring things down, and the rookies are still playing. On the central bank front, let's see here. Bank of England announced a 0.25 percentage point rate increase. Doesn't mean much at all. Gold came down a little bit. The dollar got a little strong. And again, tomorrow's payrolls are going to see. And here's the gold story's in your Trends Journal. You know, gold is going to go as long as there's a lot of energy being sucked out of the crypto markets. And you're going to see that energy go back into gold and silver as we see it. And again, where are cryptos going? We've been nailing it. The numbers are there. We called a breakout point when it hit 10,000. You know, when that happened, and we're saying where the breakouts above and below are. So that's on the crypto market, and inflation is the real key here. They're going to raise interest rates, but so too is inflation going to keep. They're not. If they raise interest rates enough to beat inflation, it's going to drive these economies down like we've never seen before in modern history. And so people are going to be looking for safe haven assets. And the European Central Bank, they left their rate unchanged today. But Lagarde over there, the former head of the IMF, the International Monetary Fund, now she's saying that, well, you know, we're looking at this a little differently now, and that we may raise rates later on. And this is all a bunch of BS too, because now you're seeing the inflation rate in Europe hit 5.1%, and they've been bullshitting all these years that when it hit 2%, they would raise interest rates. So they're going to have to start raising them, and they're playing the same game the Fed is. They knew it was going up. They're not that stupid. They're lying about it to keep the Ponzi scheme going. So today, you had the Pan-European Stock Index slipping 0.5%, and tech stocks over there shed 1.8%. So they're going to start cutting stimulus, and they're going to start raising rates, and it's going to bring it down. And what else do we have here? Here's Christine Lagarde said that there is no longer ruling out an interest rate hike this year. Compared with our expectations in December, risks to the inflation outlook are tilted to the upside, particularly in the near term. Don't get excited, Celente. Don't say fuck off, save your shit. You've been spewing out crap for now, what, 2 years? And now you're throwing out this garbage that, our expectations, they've changed. Bullshit. Again, they're banksters. These are the people that killed Jesus Christ just to get it straight. There's also a concern and a determination around the table not to rush into decisions around the table. A bunch of fucking bastards and bitches around the table. Don't you know who we are? Who we are around the table. Let us just decide for everybody. Yeah, what a bunch of fucking shit. Yeah, consumer prices 5.1%. Yeah, for 2 fucking decades they've been saying 2%. Well, excuse me, that's the highest in 2 decades, 5.1%. But they've been saying 2% now for 10 years. And the World Food Bank says prices jumped toward a record last month. But don't worry about it. It's only the people of Slavelandia have to worry about it. The Bezos, the Buffetts, the Gates, all the rich, the Musks, they don't have to worry. Only the plantation workers have to worry. And talking about worry, oil crossed over $90 a barrel today. For the first time, it hit the highest level since 2014. And of course, the fear of what's going on in Russia, but also, and we're going to get to this later, the ramping up of the war in the Middle East, as murderer Biden just did yesterday, bragging about it and using the name of God in vain, and I'll get that as well. And then you're seeing what's going on in Yemen with the United States now supporting the United Arab Emirates and getting more involved in Yemen, and Turkey. Turkey's a mess over there. It's inflation, official inflation data, 48.7%. You read the Trends Journal, it was at 4. This is a fake number. It's more like 70%. But even at 50%, when all else fails, they take you to war. And this guy's popularity is in the toilet. Again, what are people buying over there? They're buying gold, Goldman Sachs, the U.S. investment bank, predicted inflation would rise to 56% in May and remain there. When all else fails, they take you to war. It's the cover of your Trends Journal, not this week, but last week. All right? All of a sudden, we're in Syria fighting. It's the big news. Ukraine every day in the news. Turkey in the news. It's going to happen if we don't stop it. Shares of Amazon skyrocketed more than 15%. Again, the bigs are owning everything. World Trade Organization chief expects supply problems to persist, which means higher inflation. National debt breaks record at $30 trillion. Don't worry about it. It's fake money. We can do anything we want. Yep. Buyout firms. $25 billion bid for Novartis. Yep. Buyout firms. Buyout firms. These didn't exist when I was a young man. Again, they're buying up everything with all the cheap money that the bankster gangsters flooded into them. Snowdy snaps up Halo, creator of Bungie, for $3.6 billion. Bigs keep getting bigger as chains, everything's a chain. No more stores, no grocery stores, grocery chains. No hardware stores, hardware chains. No stationary stores, stationary chains. No drug stores, drug chains. Chains, they've chained us, all right? It's Slavelandia. New York Times. What are they doing here? They buy online game Worldly. Yep. Great. And New York Times opposes tech staff push to organize. One of our top trends for 2022. We call this back in December. Unionization. Amazon workers ready for union revote. It's going to keep going. There's articles in this week's Trends Journal. And by the way, go to trendsjournal.com to read history before it happens. There's no magazine like this. What I'm telling you right now, what you're hearing right now, you're not hearing anywhere else in the world. No, not Business Insider, not Market Watch, not CNBC, not Fox, ABC, CNN, FUCKYOU. You're getting what you're getting here, you're not getting anywhere else, and nothing comes close to this magazine. So we're fighting for freedom, peace, and justice, giving you everything you need to prevail, to prosper, and prepare for what's coming ahead. So subscribe to the Trends Journal. The toilet paper record, $3 a day, $6 on Sunday. Wall Street Journal, $5 a day. Trends Journal, $2 a week. Oh, and this edition, it was only 161 pages. Yep, keep on trucking. Oh, keep on trucking, all the facts going on there in Canada. Not a word in today's New York Times. Not a word anywhere in the major media. Silence. Nothing. This is big. This is big. And again, we'll keep talking about it and writing about it. And what else do we have? On Wednesday night, GoFundMe froze Convoy's fundraising page. Isn't that nice? GoFundMe, go fuck you. Yeah, go fuck you. How dare you not give these truckers their money? How dare you do this? You're a bunch of fucking low-life pieces of shit. These people are out in the freezing cold, fighting for their freedom, as little Trudeau is hiding, fully fucking vaxxed and saying he got COVID. Hey, dickface, if you're fully vaxxed, you should be safe. Oh, and by the way, about me getting angry, he who is not angry when there is just cause for anger is immoral. Because anger looks to the good of justice. What's the name of the church? Freedom, peace, justice. And if you can live amid injustice without anger, you are immoral as well as unjust. St. Thomas Aquinas. You bet I'm angry. Go fund me. You little low-life pieces of shit. Speaking of, Crosby, Stills, and Nash joined protest against Spotify. Musicians David Crosby and Stills and Nash are joining their former bandmate Neil Young in his protest against Spotify, saying they want to pull their music from the platform over their opposition to what they say is misinformation about COVID-19 spread by podcaster Joe Rogan. What the fuck do you know? I listened to Rogan, what he said, the facts are there. You want to believe him, but you only can believe your shit. These are the people, oh yeah, rocking in the free world. Rocking in the free world, huh? Yep. Neil Young, you look at this guy. This guy's 1 year older than me. He got more fucking chins, flabby bullshit, and you're telling me about health? Oh, by the way, By the way, you little arrogant fucks, I worked on a book, Natural Healing, back in the 1980s. And you're telling me about misinformation? It's dead. Woodstock? Forget about it. Forget about it. It's gone. These little low-life sellouts. Oh, you were all protesting? Yeah. You put a... Yeah. Yeah, all of them. All of the protesters back in the 60s and the 70s, all bowing down and taking it up the ass. You're corporate little fucks. How dare you do this? Why don't you say let people believe what they want? What the fuck do you know? I play guitar. Jerking off. Speaking of which, Eric Garcetti, along with London Breed, the mayor of San Francisco, and Gruesome Newsom were at the Los Angeles game there, all unmasked, and they asked this little dick, what the Garcetti, he said, I wore the mask, because they got pictures of him with Magic Johnson or somebody, I don't know, yeah. And he goes, I wore my mask the entire time. When people ask for a photograph, I hold my breath. And I put it here, and people can see it. There is 0% chance of infection from that. Holding your breath? How about holding your fucking dick and stop jerking off in public? And the same thing with that other fucking arrogant, gruesome Newsom. The pictures are there. Breed. Half-breed. Look at the fucking freaks that are running and ruining our lives. Don't get angry, Salenti. Bend over and take it. And Newsom, remember they go up to that French Laundry where you pay like $400 a meal? Yeah. They were a bunch of shits. They're fucking over us. And not the way I like to be fucked. Speaking of which, Rotterdam to dismantle historic bridge to let yacht purchased by Bezos through. That's right. This old bridge, they're taken down so he can get his $500 million yacht through it. Could you imagine if you or I said, look, I want you to do this because I have a yacht. The rich, the bigs are in total control. Rotterdam, Rotterdam pieces of fucking crap running the show. Speaking of which, Trump political machine builds huge war chest in midterm year. This fucking guy keeps running. Had enough of him. Billionaires and big checks shape battle for Congress, all right? It isn't a democracy. It's only about money. Only about money. It's money and control. U.S. won't bow to Russia over who can join NATO. Go on and on and on. The deal was this, by the way, magazine here, the Trends Journal, when it was a quarterly, big story. All about what happened back in 2000. There's the spring edition. All the subscribers could look it up. Page after page of, I'll give you just one line here. Assistant Secretary of State Victoria Nuland boasted that Washington had invested $5 billion in non-governmental organizations, NGOs in Ukraine. This is December 2013. You could Google it up. Washington, D.C., brought to you by Chevron and Exxon. You go look at it. And the purpose of the NGO, you ready? This is their language, is to teach democracy. But Ukraine was already a democracy because they had elected President Viktor Yanukovych, and here was the story. He didn't want to join the EU. They gave him a deal. They needed money, and then Russia gave him a better deal, and that was the end of it. It goes on in detail. And by the way, for about 200 years, Ukraine was part of the Russian Empire. Catherine the Great, not so great anymore. Amnesty accuses Israel of apartheid of Palestine. Why those? How dare they? They could steal all the land that they want. And don't call me an anti-Semite. As I said, my last 3 girlfriends were Jewish out of the 4. And the line is, the reason Jewish men die before their wives is because they want to. And they're not Semites because everybody running Israel or Ashkenazis from Eastern Europe, a Semite is from the Mesopotamia region. Amnesty International, they keep stealing land. It's against the United Nations. It's against everything, and they keep getting away with it. And if you say anything about them, you're an anti-Semite. Fuck off. Oh, like I said, the way I call out Fauci, Draghi, Cuomo, if it was Cuomo, Steen, Draghi, Berg, or Fauci, which should be calling me an anti-Semite. Stop your fucking crap. Black, white, green, yellow, Catholic. Oh, Catholic. Yeah, what is that new one over there? They want to do away with celibacy? Yeah. Catholics, look what they've done. The priests fucking all these little boys. Disgusting. And I was raised Catholic, so don't call me an anti-Catholic. I'm anti what they're doing. And what else do we have here? Oh, a lot. But just this whole thing with Joe Biden. Joe Biden watched in real time Wednesday on U.S. commandos landing in Syria. This is disgusting. Killing this guy, killing innocent people, and the bullshit they're saying that the guy blew the place up. When you go to other articles around the country and around the world, that's not the story. And then this is Biden's line. He said, the president was obviously pleased. Blah, 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 officials said. Biden had tremendous praise for our team. The officials said that as he left the situation, Biden said, God bless our troops. That is blasphemy. Don't you use God's name in murder. What are we doing over there? You read the bullshit about this, about, this guy that they got, a terrorist. Hey, they've been saying this terrorist story now for 21 years. Have we been terrorized? Oh, yeah. Oh, we had to go get this guy? What, do you got 1 million people coming over the border every year? What terrorists? Oh, you mean that when you read about this guy, he was with the Iraqi army at one time? The Iraqi army, that the lies that George W. Bush and all the other scumbags in the media promoted, that he had weapons of mass destruction and they killed over 1 million people. Oh, you're a terrorist when you want to get back at the people that destroyed your life, your family, and your country. How about peace on earth? Hey, where are the Catholics? Where are the Jews? Where are the Muslims? Where are the Buddhists? Not a peep about peace. Not a peep. They're going to take us to war. Again, one article after another. U.S. is alleging that Russia has been preparing to fabricate a pretext for an invasion of Ukraine. How long has this been going on? You go back to this article, 2014? That's right. America was saying the same thing then. Same thing then. And how many countries has America invaded? And now we're back in Yemen, in all of that areas we were writing about. We got a lot here. It'll be in your Trends Journal. We can't keep going on here, but one article after another. One article, one trend after another. You better prepare for what's going on. And by the way, freedom, peace, and justice. Support us. World War II is an ancient history. It destroyed Europe, killed millions and millions of people. Only 30 million Russians, Eastern Europeans. And they're going to do it again. Using God's name to praise the murder of innocent children and women. That's not my America. My America is the George Washington America, no foreign entanglements. And look up the other talk yesterday, and we're so honored, we're so blessed to have Judge Andrew Napolitano doing a weekly podcast. Look at the one yesterday. He has come up with a solution on how to end this. That's right. How we can take the power back to the people and away from these federal freaks that are running and destroying life on earth. So, check that out. Celente and the Judge. Occupy, well, freedom, peace, and justice, actually. And we're providing religious vaccine exemptions. We totally support the Canadian truckers. You look at the cover of this week's magazine. Keep on trucking. Mandate freedom. Mandate freedom. Freedom, peace, and justice. Thank you for tuning in. See you soon. The COVID-19 war has changed the world, but who's prepared? What's next? It's in your Trends Journal. Trends Journal subscribers are prepared. Subscribe to the Trends Journal. Read history before it happens. From the world leader in trend forecasting.